Friends, family and colleagues will pay their last respects to SABC video journalist Thabo Katsande when he is laid to rest in his hometown in QwaQwa in Free State. Katsande, who worked at the SABC's Bloemfontein office, died from a heart condition last week, Friday. This week, during a memorial service, he was remembered as a social activist. Katsande worked as a current affairs presenter on Lesedi FM. Let's bring in SABC News reporter Makgala Masiteng. She's covering the funeral service for us. Makgala, morning to you. Not so good morning for many who knew Thabo. No doubt an air of melancholy prevails where you are. For those out there who, I guess, didn't have the privilege to know and meet him, tell us more.
Good morning, Blaine. Yes, indeed, we are coming live from the hometown of Thabo Katsande, that is QwaQwa in the Free State. This is where we are bidding farewell to one of our own. Thabo Katsande to us was more than just a colleague. He was a friend. He was someone who was able to go beyond the call of duty, someone who was very talented and very versatile. Just in the few years when he rejoined the SABC in 2015, Thabo Katsande has done a lot in the media industry. He was not just a video journalist behind the lens, but he was also reporting for both TV and radio, and he was as well presenting a current affairs show. He also presented a reggae music show on Lesedi FM, so he was just versatile. He had many talents and he touched many lives. We have seen even during the memorial service how he was described as someone who was well vested, well informed in terms of many issues, and he was not just doing his job, he was going beyond. I'm talking about the fact that even when we are going around the Free State covering different stories, Thabo Katsande will not just end his duties with being behind the camera, but he was able to engage with people and even assisting them beyond just us reporting and covering their issues. That is Thabo Katsande that we are bidding farewell today. One of our own indeed. I have the spokesperson of the family who will be taking us through some of the details in terms of Thabo Katsande, who also worked with Thabo Katsande as well as at SABC. That is Sebekho. I would like to call him to join me now. Majent, how do you remember Thabo? I know this is a very sad moment today.
Good day to the viewers of SABC 404 channel. It's been a difficult day for me. It's a day that brings to an end the 30 years that I've shared with Thabo. I've lived with him in the same house. I have worked with him. We have shared pain. We have also shared some joyous moments together. I'll always remember him as a person who was multi-talented. He could fix cars. He could work as a journalist. He could do literally everything, including fixing sounds. At an early age of his life, he was called MacGyver, because he could perform almost all the difficult physical science tests that he was given by the teachers. He would even go an extra mile to prove to the teachers that he has researched. Ask him any question about medicine, about engineering, Thabo would always have answers that are very, very convincing. He was an embodiment of humanity. Thabo was a friend to everyone, even the people who were cleaning at the SABC, who were living who came from informal settlements. Thabo knew where each and every one of them stayed at. He would literally transport them after work when they were going to the taxi rank and so forth to their homes, back to their homes after work. Thabo will take each and every one of them to their places. So it is indeed a very difficult moment. I've lived, like I've said already, I have lived with him everywhere I have worked. I've always fetched him because I knew he could solve many problems, including when current affairs at Lesedi FM was challenged. The first person who came to mind was Thabo Katsande.
All right, let's come to that point that you are making. I know for one, I'm one person who worked with him when I started even doing television. Just bring us that element of the role that he played in the newsroom in terms of mentoring even young journalists.
Yeah, you would recall we had acute shortage of very skilled people who could operate cameras. It was at our very critical moment in the SABC. And we couldn't find somebody who was ready to hit the ground running, so to speak. Now, the only person who came to my mind was an old friend of mine. And I did disclose that I'm going to hire and employ a friend of mine, but he will be able to do the job diligently so. And when it was agreed and he came on board, there were also young ladies who were interns, fresh from school, armed with theoretical knowledge, with no practical experience at all. Now, I took it upon myself that it is part of our duty to ensure that talent flourishes in our midst. So because I knew that he was a human at heart, he had this amazing humanity. He was the first person that I called and I said, these ladies don't know the work, but they are rough diamonds. I'm giving you that responsibility of ensuring that they come to the standard that we want. And he did that diligently to the extent that years later, I think a year or so later, he won an award for being the Video Journalist of the Year Award for Central Region, which is quite a vast area, also with an intern. So it was quite an achievement. I've been with the SABC since my teenage years. In the 20 years or so that I worked with the SABC, I only have one award. Aphumelele, for instance, less than 3 years, less than 2 years, she won the same award, and it is all thanks to Thabo. If I may also cite an example, there was a huge production, OB, for Full View television program, which was to take place at Basotho Cultural Village. At 5 to 6, when we were to go on air, it's a live television program for 2 hours. We did not have a technical director. Out of 20 or so people who came from Johannesburg, who were very skilled and skillful, there was just no technical director. And 5 minutes before 6 o'clock, I then said, when they told me that, please phone head office and cancel the program, I said, no ways. Can I see the inside of the OB van? It has so many buttons, so many screens. I said to them, I'm with my MacGyver. Can you please direct us? What is it that we should do? They said, no, but it's literally 4 minutes before the program, so we can't go on air. I said, please, I want to take chances. If it means this is the end of my contractual relationship with the SABC, I'm willing to do so. I'm risky. But here, I'm putting the phone on speaker. Tell us. They told us what to do. Thabo told me that, no, I'll do it. He said to me, stand this side. Your role will be to press only these 3, concentrate on these 3. When I do this, you press the first one. When I do this, the upper one, so and so. Literally, I think about 30 seconds before we went on air, they called us again. They said, no, we are calling it off. I said, please just give us the first 2 minutes. It's not much. We sometimes have technical glitches. Just give us the first 2 minutes. You know what? We broadcast there for 3 full hours. Nobody believed that Thabo was the first technical director for television production ever.
I understand that the funeral is about to start. How is the program? I understand the funeral can go on forever.
It was quite a difficult program. Thabo has lived in almost all provinces. That is why he speaks fluently all the official languages of the Republic of South Africa. So we were inundated with calls from all corners of the country of people who wanted to pay tribute to him. We said as a family, and we came to the conclusion that there's no way we'll stop any from speaking. That's why it's going to be a very long funeral. But I think he deserves it. He deserves it.
Thank you very much. That is the spokesperson of the family and also a former colleague and a friend of Thabo Katsande, Motalesi Bego. He is also rather former regional editor of the Free State, just painting the picture of who was Thabo Katsande and elaborating even more as to when we say he was multi-talented, what is it that we are talking about. He has indicated that the funeral might take a very long time, as he explained that many people wanted to come forward to pay tribute to Thabo Katsande because wherever he go or wherever he went, he touched many people's lives. Blaine?
You know, no doubt he did touch many a life. And I immediately remember one incident when I was doing a broadcast in QwaQwa in the Free State, and it got to a point where this broadcast got really tense, really fast. And Thabo, who was behind the camera at that time, immediately jumped in front of me to try to shield me from any potential danger. He didn't have to do that, but he was the first one to do that, first one to jump in what he perceived as danger to save his colleague. And it sticks out in my mind, and my gents will remember that. I think he was there as well. And it just shows the bravery, the competency, as well as the confidence he had in all that he did. And surely he will be missed. And maybe, you know, in his passing from this life, some lessons will be passed on to the rest of us. Makgala.
Just as you indicated that, Blaine, I remember I was there, I have seen that, but I also in my mind came the incident when I think it was Reginald Witboy who, when the team was covering that case that was very popular last year, Senegal, the Brendan Horner murder case. I would remember the incident there where the people they wanted to confront or rather attack Reginald Witboy. Again, it was Thabo Katsande who came. He left the camera there, and we saw him in front of camera defending a colleague. That is just who Thabo Katsande was everywhere he goes.
He was the best of us, no doubt. And I'm sure we'll hear much more during the funeral service. We can go on reminiscing, but we'll leave it there for now. Makgala Masiteng live for us in QwaQwa in the Free State. Thank you. We'll be right back.